Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our Crafty Hour number 84. It is Deanna here, and we are going to get started in just a few minutes. Just going to log on here and open this up. We'll wait for everybody to find us. Good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. It's a little crazy right now. I have been tracking shipments all morning, and for those that are local, you'll know Coquihalla is a major connector through the mountains, and it is shut due to crazy snow and accidents, and all of our shipments are on the other side. So super frustrating, but we get to play today. So that's going to put me into a better mood, I think. Good morning, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Happy Thursday. Today we are going to be using the field notes from Arden. We are loving this. This is a new release, and they have some other new releases coming that we've seen sneak peeks of, and we know that you're going to love it as well. We gave you the paper pack. We gave you the laser cuts. We gave you the ephemera. And then we gave you some pieces, and I don't have all my pieces here, but some pieces from their ephemera rolls, which are a super cool idea. And I think once you see that how useful they are, you're going to love them as well. So we're going to play with some of those today. I'm going to take a sip of my coffee. My hands are chilly. All right. Now, I did give you some homework. So the homework was to get two A2 cards. I use top fold. You can use whichever you want. So we should have two of those. We are going to have some pink foil, or as I mentioned, it can be silver or it can be gold. It's totally up to you. I did ask for a piece of vellum. Again, if you don't have it, don't stress. You can always make it without. And then the Craft Addiction Fancy Scallops. Now, these are the dies that I had. There's my strips. Oh my gosh. These are the dies that I had designed and had Craft Addiction make. Now, we're going to be using the rectangles, so that is why I brought these. But where did I put them? They are available in all the shapes. So we have them in circles. We have them in squares, which of course I absolutely love. And then we have them in the rectangles, which is what we are going to be using today. Here at Clipper Street, we do have a bundle price if you want to get all three. And if you haven't got them yet, we will be using these in upcoming crafty hours now that I have Scrapbook of Memories on board to sell. So please make sure you get those because they are going to be popular. You can call us after the live, and the bundle price is the way to go, but we do sell them individually as well. So that's the one that I used, and I pre-did the two sizes. Oh, that feels really thick. I pre-did the two sizes that I requested on here like that. Now, if you don't have this one, you can use any of your scallops. You can also just cut white paper, and I did mention that on here. And that's also a good way for you to see how pretty the dies actually make it look. So if you want to do yours straight with just the white, you are more than welcome to. Okay, looks like we got the gang all here. Thank you guys. I'm glad you love the colors. They were beautiful. It was really fun to work with. So, and you know, sometimes people look at these and they're a little overwhelmed. So I think it's fun that we get to play with it this morning. Now, I did my traditional layered cards. Judy, the bundle price, I believe, is $50, 50, for all three dies. That's Canadian. I'm not sure what Courtney's is, so if you're watching from Courtney's store, that is for all three, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 squares. That's 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 dies. And these are big. Look at my hand. They are big. Whew. And that is regular $61.97. So you're going to save $12 by getting the bundle. Okay, sorry, back to, we're going to do my traditional layered cards. Now, as you know, these are very, very detailed. The laser cuts are super detailed. I have not pulled mine out. I did ask you to. So sometimes I am going to be using the micro squares. This is where those little micro squares come in really handy to put behind, for instance, the little bee or these little florals. So I'm going to be using that. And you know what I forgot this morning is my precision glue, which could be interesting. I forgot my little glue. Okay, so let's get started. I think we're going to start with our pink card first. And again, just a reminder, I am going to make sure to get through these two cards. You have the luxury to watch and rewatch this. It'll be on our Facebook page for the next 30 days, but it will be on our YouTube for good. So again, don't panic if you feel you're falling behind. You will be able to go back and watch this. This is a crafty hour as opposed to a class. So we do go at a little bit faster speed with this one. So we are going to start with our white card. So find your white card. You probably have already folded it. I do need to fold mine and give it a good crisp crease. And then we're going to grab out the foil. Now, I did mention to do, using the pink, but I said you could also do silver or gold. And I already gave you that measurement. That was part of your homework. I have not cut mine yet, so I am going to do that. But yours is probably already cut. So that was part of your homework. I am just going to cut mine now. You should be ready to go, so you can go ahead and glue yours right onto your card. So you'll get a little step ahead of me, which is the plan. Go ahead and glue it right onto your card, making sure you get a little border of white all the way around. So mine is perfect. I'm going to go ahead and glue that on. Now, this card is super simple, okay? It's really easy. It is just going to be layering up all of our laser cuts. It looks really impressive, but it's easy. So hopefully you'll get some ideas for that today. All right. So yours should be glued on. I am going to set that off to the side. That was our foil. It could be silver. It could be gold. I chose to use my pink foil. I keep all the colors on stock all the time. Okay, the next paper I want you to find is your pink gingham paper. So I know that's on the back. I'm just going to look on the back of them. And this is the one I want to use. So this is a pink gingham paper. The front side is this newsprint with this pastel color. I am going to use the back side. This is the one that I'm going to use. It's very springy, I think. Now we're going to cut this at 4 by 5 1/4. So I'm going to put it into my trimmer horizontal, so sideways, and I'm going to do my 4-inch cut first, which will actually save paper. It is right in half. We're going to cut it at 4 inches. Put that off to the side. And then I'm going to flip it and trim it to 5 1/4. So 4 by 5 1/4. That should fit right away onto our foil, which mine does. It'll give you a little border of foil. So once you've got that cut, we can go ahead and glue that in place as well. So far we have just glued our foil, which I had you pre-cut. And then we found our pink gingham and we trimmed it and we'll put that on. All right. Perfect. I'll let that sit and dry. And then we are also, while that's drying, going to find, pardon me, our green gingham. So again, I know that that one is on the back of a paper. It is right here. So if you just look on the back, this is the next one that we're going to be using. It is the green gingham on the back. The front is a pattern with some leaves. Okay. Now this is where we are going to bring in that one fancy scallop that I had you cut. Now, if you have this one and you cut the exact same one, your green gingham is going to measure 3 by 4 1/4. Now, if you did not, let's just say that you cut a piece of white. What I want you to do is measure the inside and see what measurement you need for that green gingham. So for me, I know that I'm going to need 3 inches. And if I go this way, I'm going to need 4 1/4. I want you to measure your white because you have the flexibility to use the exact same dye as me, or to use plain scallops, or to use just plain white. So you measure yours and make it work for you. I am going to cut mine. My first cut will be 3 inches. 3. Put that off to the side. By 4 1/4. 3 by 4 1/4. That is what mine measures because I am using the fancy scallop. But I need you to check yours and make sure yours measures what you need. So just depending on whatever you used in your homework. Okay. This is the Craft Addiction Fancy Scallop that I chose to use. Okay, so once you've got that figured out, I want you to cut your green, and then we're just going to glue that together and set it off to the side for a moment. Okay, we'll just glue that. Yours may be different than mine, just depending on what dye you used. Now, because I have Courtney now selling the Craft Addiction dyes, the good news is we're going to be using these in our crafty hours. I have wanted to use them now. Gosh, we've been selling Craft Addiction for almost a year. I've been wanting to use them, but because Courtney did not have the rights to sell them, we were not able to. So that's all been squared away now. So just know that going forward, you're going to see a lot more of these Craft Addiction dyes in our crafty hours. Okay, I'm going to set that off to the side, and I am going to go to our postage stamps. So these are on a roll that we have used, and we are going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to cut 5 of them. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, don't stress these. We're not going to see the entire piece. This is just going to be a little bit of a color down the side. So I need you to find 5 of them. Now, I actually wondered if these had been stickers because one of the ones I had looked like it was a little shiny, but it is not a sticker. So we need to put a little bit of glue on it. And we are going to glue this right here down the left side. Okay, so that is 5 of the postage stamps. And I'm going to come in about 1 row of the gingham in, just about 1 row. So grab your glue, and we're just going to do, everybody got approximately, I say approximately, between 10 and 12 inches of this. Everybody got enough for your crafty hour. All right. So that is just going to hang out there. That is flat. This is just going to be a little layer of color. And about 1 row in approximately. All right. Now we're going to take our gingham, green one, and we're going to put foam tape on the back of it. This layer is going to get popped up. If you don't want to pop it up, that's okay. You do whatever works best for you. I like the dimension, so I am going to pop it up. I think I'm a little, just a tad bit too long. We'll just put a little bit there. And now because I need to, I'll put a little there. Okay, now when we go to attach this, we're going to even it top to bottom, and we're going to put it closer to the right-hand side. I'm going to come in again about 1 full piece. And that looks good. Okay, so about 1 row of the gingham in, even top, even bottom. It's going to go over top of those postage stamps we put down. And we did that with foam tape. Okay. Now we don't have any more paper to cut for this one. We are just now going to start layering some of our die cuts. So I'm going to start with this one. Now this is the big piece that we had, and we are going to tear a piece of it, your choice where you want it, so that we can put that down on the right-hand side. So you can just see mine here, and I tore the top and I tore the bottom. So I'm gonna start with the top because that just makes sense for me. And I'm gonna tear it on a slight diagonal. Okay, I don't want it to be perfect. That's definitely not perfect. Let me smooth that bumpy out. Okay, so just like that, just as if I grabbed it and tore it. So we're going to start with the top. Just go ahead and tear that. And then to figure out the bottom, I'm going to hold it there, going to kind of eyeball it, where it's going to go, and then I'm going to tear that. So I have a torn piece at the top and a torn piece at the bottom. Yours is going to look different than mine. I need to trim that just a little bit. It's just a bit too long. It's a different piece than mine. So that's okay. Let's just tear it a little bit more. That's probably better. Yep, there we go. Okay, so it's going to look just like that. It's not going to go right top to bottom of the green. We're just going to see some of these flashy colors. And I'm going to come in just a tiny bit from my green, just a tiny bit. And let's add some glue to that one. And these pieces are a little bit lighter weight, as you can tell. So you don't need a lot of glue. You don't want it getting all mucky and wrinkly. We're just going to put it right like that. That's just a layer. That's all these pieces are. It saves you from having to cut a big piece, lets you play with them. They've got great tickets inside, etc. All right. Now, what we're going to do is let's go to our die cuts. Now, you've already pulled yours out because I posted this picture that told you which ones to pull out. So we are going to pull out the frame, the window frame that I had you. So find that one. We'll just get that one prepped. And I also want you to find in the back of your paper pack, you have these great tags. I'm just going to pull all of these out. And I love that this paper pack comes with this. So we are going to use this tag right up here that looks like that. And these are all double-sided. So what's fun about this is we have words on one side, but on the flip we have no words. So that allows you to customize this. If you want, you can stamp, you can print, but it gives you a few more options if those are not the words that you want. Now we're going to attach this little window, and it just fits behind. So the first thing I want you to do is just hold it up to the back side, and you're going to see where you need to cut. So now I'm just going to take my scissors and cut off the top. I do not need this little piece. So we're just going to make it so that it works. It measures behind there. All right. Now this is going to get a little bit tricky in a good way. I want you to find that long pink floral that I had you remove. Again, I have not removed mine, so I'm just going to take care of that right now. And these are quite long. The benefit of these being quite long is actually we can manipulate them and use them in different places, etc. So we are going to trim this down. And I'm going to say about, let me do this, about, we're going to trim this down about the second grouping of flowers up. So if you have a look, maybe right there. Maybe right there we're going to do it. So have a look at mine. Right here, we're going to just trim that right down. Let me do that and then I'll show you a little bit closer. There's just a little snippy snip to happen. Oop, there we go. Okay, so this is where I want you to cut. So go ahead and do that. And then I'm going to show you where we will place that. We're going to use both top and bottom. Okay, so the first piece we're going to use is the chunkier piece, which is the top. And I'm just going to put a couple of tiny micro dots to the back side of just a couple of the bigger pieces. You do not need to cover the whole thing. I probably will only use 4 and that will be perfect. These little guys are super finicky. Okay. So that's why I don't like to use a whole lot because they're just finicky. I'm impatient. There we go. So as you can see, I just used a bit. So I can give you a measurement, Lynn. I just am a visual person. So let me grab my ruler. I just want you to have one set of blossoms left. This piece is about almost 2.5 inches. For the big piece. Okay, here's what we're going to do. I got to keep us moving here. We are going to attach this right about, I think I'll come up a bit, right about like that. Now, the reason I'm attaching it slightly higher and slightly in is because I'm going to put this over top in a minute so you can see how it's going to show through. So go ahead and attach that in this place. A little bit up, a little bit over. Let's get that on. And then I want you to take this piece, which is your frame, and we are actually going to go double with the foam strip. So let me show you. We're going to take our foam strips, and I'm going to take the backing off. I'm going to go all the way around like so, and I'm going to do it double high. So let's get that on real quick. Okay, just put one right on top of the other. You will see why in a minute. Okay, right on top. Do it again. Okay, we're going to cover this up with double foam tape. Oops, that did not peel off. I like to peel off the backing because then I can take corners so much easier. Does not want to come off today. Okay, and it's okay if there's a little bit of a gap. This is not a shaker, so I'm okay with those little gaps. Okay. And we'll do it again. All right. So I now have double foam tape all the way around. Double foam tape. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to center this right over top. I did not put any foam tape in the middle on purpose. And I think that looks good. And don't stress, you can see it's not going to match the whole thing. Don't stress that. We're going to use this foam tape in a minute. You can see that the tag is just wide enough. I probably could have come in a little, but I'm okay. I'm not even stressing about that. So this is what it looks like from the front. This is what it looks like from the back. We are not stressing that it doesn't cover that foam tape because we're going to use that foam tape in 2 shakes. Okay, so let's get this on. And then I'm just going to show you where we're going to put it. We are going to slide it over a little bit closer like that to the left-hand side. So I'm on the green plaid. So I'm still on the green plaid. I'm fairly even top to bottom. Okay. And I'm closer to the left. So I'm just going to flip it over and add glue to the back of the tag. We'll use that foam tape that is exposed. Do not stress that. Okay, it's going to look like this. And now everything is going to stay in place. Give it a good little push down a bit. I'm going to move mine over just a hair. We're going to see, let's say, about 1.5 of those squares of the gingham. We're going to put some flowers on here. But I see about 1.5. Okay, let's get that on. I'll hold this here for 2 secs. Make sure that you've got it. And then we are going to add in a few other goodies. And keep us going. I want to get through both the cards. Okay. Now, we have this that I had you pull from the ephemera. So here's the ephemera pack, and it was this little tag that says bloom and grow. So I want you to find that bloom and grow that I had you remove, and we are going to cut it. I'm going to say let's start right there. Okay. So I'm just eyeballing it. Do not stress. Just right about where it goes solid pink, you can cut it. We may need to adjust this in a minute, and that's okay. I'm going to show you where we're going to put it. We're going to take the word bloom and grow. I can tell I'm going to have to do mine a little shorter. Yep. And we are going to slide it in. Yep, I need to trim mine down. We're going to slide it in to that top left panel. So once I get mine in, you kind of got to force it in. And if it's not perfect, do not stress. I'm going to put mine in, and then you're going to see I have to pull mine out again to put some glue behind there. But what I want is for this little guy to fit in the top window like that. Okay, it's just going to say bloom and grow. So if you're putting some adhesive on the back, we're going to put a tiny bit. Now, the reason I put it on after, because I know it would make sense to do it before, but I don't know exactly where that window pane is going to go. So I'm just going to put it on after. Now, I only opened up a small amount of glue, very tiny, so it doesn't get everywhere. You might curse me for this one. I'm going to put it into that panel. I'm just going to grab my little poker and pull it down just a little. Make sure it's straight. Oh, it's so cute. There we go. Bloom and grow. I'm going to slide that over just a bit. There. And if you want to cut off some of the bottom, you can as well. I think I did on the original. All right. I know that's a little bit of a finicky part, but it's super cute to have that little word popping out in the window pane. Okay, keeping moving. Let's do some of our floral ones here that I had you pull. So we're going to bring in this pink flower again. And I also had you use some of these thin little branches. I think I had you pull this one. And then I also had you pull this one. Now, the fun thing about these laser cuts, again, they are double-sided. So if I don't like the way something goes, I can flip it over and it will work. And that's what we're going to do. So I want one piece to be like that. And it doesn't matter which one, really doesn't. And then I'm going to have one piece up here like that. Okay, so these are going to go on there flat. So just a tiny bit of glue. Unfortunately, I, silly girl, forgot my little bit of glue. So I'm going to do a trick that I don't always love, but it's just going to work the best. I put a little glue on a scrap. And I only need to really put glue on the bottom part. I'm just going to gently drag it through so I don't cover and get too much. Now this one's going to go right off to the edge like that. We'll glue that in place. And then same thing for this one. We're just going to make do. And we're going to put that one there. Still got a little too much glue, but the good news is it dries clear. So my first piece is coming up over here. My second piece is coming up over here. They're kind of mirroring each other. Sort of, kind of. Okay, now I'm going to go to this pink one, and I'm just going to tear off the bottom because I really don't need the bottom. I just want to have the stem with the pink. And again, oops, I am going to find my micro dots, and I'm going to put a couple behind those pink blossoms. So the micro dots are really the only thing that's going to fit. So let's just take that backing off. Come on. There's 1 and 2. All right, just like that. Now this is going to go up at the top. Let me put it on and I'll show you. And I just slid the stem kind of underneath the window pane. So it's only attaching with the blossoms at the top. All right, we just have a couple more important steps for this one, and then we can move on to card number 2. Okay, with your ephemera, I had you pull the blue frame and the birdhouse inside. We're going to use the blue frame for card number 2, so I'm going to just separate those and put this with card number 2, and then I want to grab just the birdhouse with this one. Okay. Now the birdhouse is going to attach to the frame. And did I do? Nope, we're going to glue it flat. Good thing I looked. So we're going to put some glue. Now again, I want to make sure that the glue is in the right spot. So I'm going to put the glue right on the frame. And I'm not going any higher than that top panel. Okay, so keep it to the bottom 2 panels. And then this, the top of that birdhouse is going to go to the top of the panel. That's important to see. Let me show you. We are not going right to the bottom. Okay, we're right here. Look at that. Look where that top of the birdhouse is to that pane right there. And I've kind of got it straddling. It's half on the frame and half off. All right. Now, on this laser cut, you have a whole bunch of words up top. You can take whichever one you like. I'm going to use the one that says enjoy the moment, but if you want to use a different one, you absolutely can. I'm going to use this one. And again, nothing on the back of these. I am going to put a little bit of foam strip on the back. Just like that. Oh, thank you, Heidi. And I am going to have it on the bottom. Oh, my birdhouse is a little crooked. I'm going to have it on the bottom of my window frame. And again, I never stay inside the box, so I have it hanging over. But it's going to go over the bottom of the birdhouse, and it's going to cover up the bottom of the frame in the lower left corner. And again, mine hangs over just a little bit. Cute. Then we are going to go to your pink butterfly I asked you to pull. Did I ask you to pull a pink butterfly? I think I did. Yep, up here it's the side-facing pink butterfly. And I'm going to use my pop dots. I'm going to use my medium pop dots. The pop dots are a little bit thicker, and I am going to put the pop dot right there, right on the frame, like so. And this side folding, he's going to be flying to check out those beautiful pink flowers. Okay. Now, I also had you remove one of the little bumblebees. I'm trying to see which bumblebee I had you pull. Oh, that one right there. Okay, so let's find that little bumblebee I had you pull. I had you guys do it because I just thought it would be easier. He's tiny. So guess what? You need to grab your micro dots again. One micro dot will do it right on his body. Come on. Backing on these is such a pain. Thank you, guys. And I'm going to put him on the top of the the top of the birdhouse. There we go. He's flying in just like that. Now, there was one more thing I did to this, and I did not tell you to pull it. Now, I don't know if Courtney's using it or not, but these tickets are pretty interchangeable. So you can use any of these colors. They all will work. I chose the pink one. And I forgot to tell you to pull this one. Not everything's sold out, Brenda. And this line we can reorder. So they still have some of it. So I chose the pink one. I forgot to tell you, so you will have to go grab your kit. I am just going to cut it in half like so. This is optional, and you can use any color. And I'm going to take the top, a little bit of glue, just a itty bitty, and I'm going to put it, oh, I need to trim it down. Cut closer to the words, because we're not going to really use the words on this one. Maybe I'll pull mine up. Oh, there we go. That works. I just yanked it up a little bit, and I put that up in that top corner. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the bottom. Little bit of glue. Oh, Lordy. That was way too much glue. Un momento. Let's get some of that off. Glue problems there. And I'm going to put this one. I might just lift that foam tape up ever so slightly. I'm going to put that down there. So those pinks kind of balance as well. Okay, I think I got everything. So you see it's slightly different because I used a different piece of my ephemera roll. But otherwise, it should be the same. Okay, we're going to put that one off to the side. I'm glad you enjoy it. It is spring. It's beautiful. And we're going to move to our next card. And that is the blue card. Okay, so for this one, I want you to find your card base. And let's fold that card. Give it a good crease. You can see we barely used any pattern paper on that last card. We really just let all the ephemera take ownership there. Okay, now for this, we are not going to put a mat on here. We could have, but I'm not going to. Just going to leave it, which means we're going to have a slightly different measurement. Let's put that there. So, and I will do this with you. Do not worry. We could have put a dark blue border on it. I just chose not to. I don't know why. I just did. Sometimes. So we're going to look for our blue plaid, which is right there. This is the one we're going to use. Okay, the other side is a dark blue. And I'm going to put it into my trimmer once again sideways, and I want it to be 4 1/8, which is just over 4 inches. Okay, it's right in between 4 and 4 1/4. A reminder, your card base is 4 1/4, so it's just under 4 1/4. We don't need this one. And then just under 5 1/2. That measurement is 5 3/8. It is right in between 5 1/4 and 5 1/2, right in the middle. Your card base is 5 1/2 long, so slightly under. And if we put that on, it should just give us a thin, small, little white border on all 4 sides. If you need to adjust, go ahead. Sometimes it's a little tricky when we use those 1/8 inches. Mine is okay. Oh, I'm so glad, Patricia. That's exactly what our goal is to get you crafting, get you thinking. We buy product, and when I came up with Crafty Hour a couple of years ago, again, one of my 2 a.m. ideas, the idea was that I know you guys buy all this stuff, and we want you to actually craft. We can't do classes 24/7. That would be lovely if we could. But this is a way for us to spend an hour or two every couple of weeks crafting together. Okay, now once we've got that glued on, I want to talk about this piece. So I had you cut a really big piece. Okay, this one is our largest of the dies. Just going to grab the ruler. We are going to trim it down. So right now it measures 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And what that means is it is the same size as a card front. And when I designed these, that was what I requested, is I wanted it to be the same size as a card front. So we can also make this a shaped card if I wanted. Now we're going to use this one, but we are going to cut it down. So where we're going with this is I want it to look like, I think I want more blue. I want it to look like this. So what that means is we're going to cut it right here and not use this. Now the measurement is going to be 3 3/4. So let me walk you through it. Everybody will have this piece of white. That was your homework. Whether it's a scallop or not, doesn't matter. I want you to take it to 3 3/4, the edge of it, and cut. We do not need this piece. This is what we're going to use. Sometimes I just like having it kind of like it's missing on this side. It just makes me happy. It doesn't have to be perfect all the time. Now, if yours is white and plain, that's okay. It's going to have the same look. We are not attaching it just yet. I just want to make sure that you understand why I did that. So it's 3 3/4 across. Now we're going to cut another piece of paper from our paper pad, and that is this blue diagonal. Blue diagonal piece right here. And we are going to cut it to fit inside our card. So once again, if you are using a different die than me, please measure so that you have white border on the top, on the bottom, and the right side. No white border on the left. So for those that are using the same die cut as me, this is going to be your measurement, and I will walk you through it. If you're not using the same die cut, I'm going to leave that up to you to measure and cut and glue. So let's put it into our trimmer, horizontal, 3 5/8. That is in between 3 1/2 and 3 3/4. Right in between 3 1/2 and 3 3/4. And then 3 3/4. So it's almost square. Almost. That's your measurement. Measure it on yours. If you're not sure, I'm going to need to trim mine down just a hair, I can see, because I don't want any of it hanging over. See how mine's hanging over? I got to take a little off. It's probably one of those weird measurements. Let's see if this works. Oh yeah, it's just a hair off, guys. And I'm going to glue mine, and then I can always adjust it after. So I get an even border. That's what it looks like. No white on the left at all. Well, let's glue that together. Okay. And I kept the glue kind of off to from the side so that if I do need to adjust, I can. And I'm just going to clean up that edge ever so little. Whew, I just got glue all over. And if you want to adjust it, I decided just now to make sure that I have full scallop, so I just cut off a little bit. Don't worry about which way your stripes are going. We are going to cover up 90% of this paper. You're only going to see a little bit of it showing through, so don't stress that, okay? Now it's going to glue flush to the pattern paper on the left, so the plaid underneath, even top, even bottom, and we are doing this with foam tape. So grab your foam tape and let's attach that with our foam tape. Anytime I have a scallop die, I don't know why, but I always want to put foam tape behind it. I like the shadowing it creates. Even top, even bottom, flush with our plaid paper. Just like that. Okay, don't worry about your stripes. I know that there is a little bit of writing on there. It's not going to matter, so I don't worry about that. The other card had a lot of different spring colors, blues and greens and yellows. This card is predominantly blue, so it is what I call a monochromatic card. It's all going to be done in blues. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have one more paper to cut, and that is our butterfly paper. This one right here, one of my favorite papers. That's the only paper we need to cut left. The rest will just be stuffers. I'm going to put all my goodies away. Such a beautiful pad. And this is the one I want you to find next. It's our last paper to cut. One other fun thing to do, I'll tell you while we're just hanging out, but if I go over a minute, don't get mad at me. Something fun to do with these, and I have done them, is, and you could do it with this pattern paper so easily, is if you cut a bunch of these in different colors. So maybe we do one in blue, maybe we do one in yellow, one in pink. And if we do a whole bunch of them, and you just need to, let me grab this, just take this, and you don't have to put paper behind it, just put paper on one end of it. Then you can layer, and they're so cool when you layer them all up. You know, they kind of make, you can put your next one here, for instance, and then put another one here, and it kind of makes almost like a little fringe. It's just really pretty. You can do it with a rainbow. You could cover your whole card front with it. So dies are so useful for other things than just doing nesting dies. So you can cut a whole bunch of these strips really, really easily. Okay, so we're going to cut from the blue down on the bottom. So we want this to be 2 3/4. So I'm going to take the whole bottom of the card right down to 2 3/4. Okay, don't need that piece. This is what I have, 2 3/4. And then I want to get another cut in there, so it's a square at 2 3/4. Don't worry that it kind of looks a little weird. It's all good. That's what we need. That's what we want. Okay, that's it for cuts. We don't need to do any more cuts. Now, I want you to bring in the blue frame I asked you to pull. And I also want you to bring in that vellum that I asked you for. And what we're going to do, first of all, is we're going to put vellum on the back side of the frame. And I like to use my double-sided tape for that. So I'm just going to grab some double-sided tape. I grab my big one. And we're just going to put some tape right around the opening in the center. Again, this is not a shaker, so if we don't cover the whole bit, no worries. It's totally okay. We just really need a little piece on each side. I don't really like to use wet glue on vellum. Not really very happy when you do that. So I usually use tape runner or I use my double-sided tape. Okay, and I'm going to put that like that. Okay, so I just have vellum on it. And this is there a way this goes? I don't know. 3 3/4. Yeah, they're about this. It's almost a square. It's almost a square. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're going to glue it behind just like that. So we're just getting a very toned down pattern, right? So again, I need to grab my tape, and for this, I'm just going to put one on each side because I know it's going to stay. You'll see why. Not going to cover the entire bit of it. One and one. And then let's just put this right on top, like so. Okay, now that's where I was saying if you didn't have the vellum, it wouldn't be the end of the world. It just wouldn't give you that really pretty soft look to it. But it wouldn't be the end of the world. All right, so now what we're going to do is we are going to put some foam tape on it. I'm just making sure that I did not, yep, just one foam tape on the back. And then it's just time to start layering. And that gets a little tricky with this one. This one's got lots of layering pieces. So we'll try and do it together. We'll get all of our bits and pieces together. Okay, so I have my foam tape on the back of my frame, and I'm just going to put it right there. Okay, very, very slight angle, closer to the top. Very slight angle. Yes, Sharon, they're doing some renovations, and it's been a lot. It's been a lot. Very noisy around here lately. Sharon can hear the grinder.
Oh, yeah. Last night they were grinding and playing music. It was lovely.
Lovely. All right. Now I had you pull this blue, so let's go and you find your blue flower. I have not removed mine yet. I am going to do that right now. Okay, and we are going to be attaching this up like this. So you can see I really don't need all of this greenery down here. So I'm just going to tear it off, not measuring. Don't worry about measuring. You will not see any of this here in a minute. Don't stress. And we're going to glue it. So I need to do my little trick one more time because silly me, did not bring what I need. So a little bit of glue on the back. And we are going to smush this up here. Woo, way too much glue. You know what? I might put a little pop dot behind that. Let's see if I can squish one at the top, because I can see I need a little micro dot under that top, very top blossom. That will make me happy. I'll just put one right there.
That's loud.
I know it's loud. It's crazy. There we go. A little bit too much glue, but again, it dries clear. No stress. Then I had you pull a couple of these leaves. So let me pull mine out. I need this one. I'm going to pull both of mine out. I already had you pull one out, but I need to pull both of mine out. And there is one that's a little bigger. Does it matter? No, but I'm going to use the one that's a little bit bigger, which is this one. and I am going to glue it kind of like that. Okay, again, I think I will put a couple little dots behind it, but in a minute. I don't want to put little dots in the wrong spot. So what I'm going to do is, oh, how about I open my glue? I'm going to just put a little bit of glue on the bottom leaves like that. And we're going to just squish it in like so. And then now I see where I need to put my foam, so that is really easy for me to do. Grab a little piece. And we'll put one here. And what I like about these leaves is I can also manipulate them if they're not going exactly how I want them. They're super easy to just put into place. These little guys are a little challenging, but yeah, there. Excellent. I'll leave that one for a minute. Okay, so the last ones we need to do are all the die cuts you probably have already pulled. You've got that blue butterfly ticket. You have that's not the one I told you to grab. You have the little postage stamp. So we're going to grab that. You have this big blue one that I had you pull. So we're going to grab that. So those are the 3 from your laser cuts. And then we're going to go back to our tags that are in our paper pad. And I want you to grab your blue clock, the clock with the flowers. This is from your paper pad. Okay, we used the tag, remember? So now I want you to find this one. So those are the 4 things I need you to have now. Okay. We're going to make a collage and then we'll put it down. Now on this blue one at the top, I'm going to cut on the dotted line there and take out that number. And I'm going to use that in a minute. So I just removed the top part. We'll use this in a sec. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to hold this one. We're going to bring in our clock. Doesn't matter where you put your clock. It really doesn't. Or what part you want to see. Maybe I'll do mine like that. And then this is going to go on top, kind of like that. So we're just kind of sandwiching these in. Now I'm going to put these together with just a little bit of glue in case I need to remove them, in case they're not exactly the way I want it after all, because sometimes that happens. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit of glue between the layers. Sometimes I use my repositionable and then go back and add glue. So we're going, ooh, that's way too much. I am really heavy on the glue today. But just a little bit. Okay, just to kind of hold it like so. Don't stress it. Do not. Okay, so I'm just going to leave that there. Have a quickie look. And then we're going to attach it. We are probably going to be about 5 minutes over, but that's okay. We're almost done. Now, just because I want to make sure that this goes in the right place, I am going to add some foam tape to my card. I might need a little bit more up here. So you can see how I'm adding it like this. And I'm going to add double because I want to make sure that it is secure. And again, I can always go back and add more. That is very crucial when you are doing layers. It might not work the way you want them the first time. So I have double there. And then I'm going to put, and I think we'll do this now, just because, I'm going to put a single layer on the frame. So just a quick recap before I attach, have a look, because once I attach it, it's down. I got a double a double, and on the frame I have a single. Then have a quick watch. I'm going to put it like this on an angle. Perfect, right? Yes, yes, it's perfect. Now, if you are like, ooh, that's a little squishy there, get out your foam tape. Did I bring my squares? Ooh, let's use this. And just add foam tape where you deem necessary. It's not done, so do not stress. Do not. I'll show you what we'll do next. Okay, before we add these last little couple of pieces, we are going to add our word, because our word is going to cover up the bottom, and then we'll stick those last little pieces in. So here's what we're going to do with our word. This gets a little bit where we have to move some things around. It's okay. We're going to take our foam, and I'm going to put a piece on the diagonal paper only, right under the frame and our little cluster. Okay, I'm going to add another piece right over top. We have to get it high enough to go over. So I've added another piece over top. Now don't anybody freak out, because guess what? We're going to add one more strip over top. This is just going to make life easy. So that is 3 high. Now you don't have to go that high. It's up to you. And then we are going to take our sweetest moment. Oh, so perfect. And we're going to put it on top. Now I've still got it pretty much inside my fancy scallop. It's a little squishy here. I can add more in a moment, but we have to do a couple more things. So this should fit really nice. Is everybody okay? Give me the thumbs up. We just got a couple more little accents to put on, and then we're done. Okay. I'm going to take that little postage stamp, and I'm just going to slide it in just like that. Okay, so it should slide in perfectly because we have not put any adhesive there for a very good reason. So a little piece, and I'm going to slide it down so it's just peeking out of my cluster. Okay. And then we're going to go to this little number one that we cut off. And, ooh, this is little, way too much foam. Tell ya, I am just, let's put it on here, heavy today. And this one, oops, you go back there. Okay, I don't have to see it all. I just have to see a little, just a little. So that is our cluster. Oh, I'm stuck to my word. That is our cluster. All right, almost done. Now we have a bunch of words, and those words are, where are those words? They are in our ephemera. Are they not? Yeah, down here. So I said, really, you can use any one. I have Bloom and Flourish here. On this one, I used the Good Stuff. What we're going to do is slide it slightly under the frame, and we're just going to glue it at the top. Now, if yours doesn't go quite far enough under, you can just snip a little bit. Again, just a little bit of glue. We don't want to warp our vellum, so don't use too much. And tuck it slightly under. Ooh, it's pretty. And you have 4 of them that you can choose from, so whichever works for you. Now, when I did all of this and all was said and done, this looked really plain to me. So we're going to take that last little green one. We're going to attach it with some foam, and it's going to go underneath our tickets, and it's going to attach to our vellum. So just flip it over. These aren't quite so small. So you know what? I have this little piece of strip I'm going to use just because we're almost done and I don't want it to go to waste. And don't worry about putting any foam on the bottom part because it's going to slip under. So it's really not necessary. Oops, let's just wheel that over there. And I'll put one on this leaf and that leaf. I'm going to leave the last two. Okay. I didn't waste all of that. Make sure I can't see them, because you never know. Woo! Sticky, sticky. There we go, just like that. And we're going to sneak it under and just have it coming out. I think that just adds a little bit. It looked a little boring to me. And now the greens match here and there. Okay, now last two that I asked you to find. You should have 2 blue butterflies. Oh my, they're all mucked up. You should have 2 last butterflies. They are blue. One is a side-facing butterfly, and one is a full butterfly. So with the side-facing, I am going to take one of my pop dots, and I am going to put it right at the top of my tickets, right at the end of my word, on the frame. Just like that. And I'm going to have him coming down like this onto the flowers. And then this little guy, I'm going to put a pop dot right in the middle of his body. I'm going to just give the wings a little bend. And this is going to go at the very bottom corner of my frame. It might cover up a little bit of the word, but that's okay. I know what it says. And we have that. You also have this little piece of green if you want to stick it somewhere. Of course you can. Ooh, you could put it right there. That'd look pretty. I'm going to do that. This is how I roll. If I have a scrap on my desk and I'm like, oh, I'm just going to throw that away. Waste not, want not. Let's throw it. Where did I have it? See now what happens? Let's throw it right there. Kind of on top of the clock. You don't have to do that. I did not do it on my original. Totally up to you. All right, let's bring in both cards. We are finished for this morning. Let me throw these away because they got glue on them. So there is our 2 cards using our field notes from Arden and our fancy scallops, which I love. I hope you guys love them as much as me. And we have got a pink and green card and then a predominantly blue card. I love them. I hope you guys love them. We are going to be back here 5 o'clock on Scrapbook and Memories on their Facebook page. Courtney is going to be doing her crafty hour with you all later this afternoon. And then tomorrow, do not forget, tomorrow we are going live at 9 a.m. with our newest crafty hour. And that is going to be limited. Now, the reason is we are giving you a emboss folder that is exclusive. You cannot buy it anymore. We have never sold it in either of our stores. So this is an opportunity for you to get something that you're going to love included that you can use over and over again. It is a full size embossing folder, 5.5 by 8.5. Yes, Sharon, we will check for that for you. So please tune in tomorrow. We cannot get any more of these embossing folders. We can get more of the other product, but not the embossing folder. So when we sell out, you are either going to get it without the embossing folder or you will not be able to participate. That is going to be a crafty hour with Diane and Courtney for April. April 23rd, I believe. So we will see you tomorrow morning for our new reveal. I have set up an event, so please join us. And then we'll see you all back on Scrapbook and Memories at 5 o'clock Pacific. Bye-bye.